All right, guys, so we thought it would be fun to take some Twitter-submitted SDC-related questions. So this is off the cuff. We don't know what's coming. I'm just going to pull up the hashtag. All right, so Vega writes, have there been any rumors surrounding The Rock about revealing his role in the DCU? Have you guys heard anything yet?
I mean, when he was on Fallon, or not Fallon, he was on whatever the interview was that he did. He had said, "Well, we're going to announce it pretty soon. We got some big news." When he dropped the subtle hint of what I think will be Shazam, I think he will be one of the guys who shows up at that DC panel. If I was going to predict, I think he's going to come out there. Maybe they'll do a big Shazam thing. Maybe he'll scream it out. Who knows? They're going to. I think that DC is going to try to do something to top what Hiddleston did with Loki last year. Because they were like, oh, we have Batman v Superman. Oh, yeah, well, here's Loki talking to the crowd. And I think that if DC is going to want to do something big like that, it'd be fun to have The Rock come out and announce he's Shazam.
I think they're definitely going to announce at Comic-Con. I mean, it's the place. And, The Rock has been hinting towards it and so close to Comic-Con. He's, having The Rock at Comic-Con is crazy. I mean, it's already, craziness here with all the people, all the excitement over everything, and then you have the most electrifying man in sports entertainment show up for that. I mean, he knows how to work a crowd, much like how
he sure does.
Robert Downey Jr. does. Like, when he comes into Hall H, he commands the crowd. Everybody loves him, and The Rock will do the same thing for DC. We mentioned this on a show a long time ago. Like, Marvel and DC should be battling for The Rock because they know that this guy will bring it and bring all the hype to whatever property he's with.
Well, they've been talking to him for a long time. I mean, at one point, like Lobo, I think he was supposed to do.
Which would have been really cool.
He's got all these characters that he's been working on. He's been trying. He even said in that interview again that he's been talking to DC for a long time. So it's like which character is right for him because he is also a fanboy from himself. So there's characters that he looked at, said this is what I'd like to do, and then in the interview where he said. He's got the strength of Superman. Just say the word, and you're like, okay, you pretty much told us who it is. I'm looking forward to hearing what happens because he's also here to promote Hercules.
Come on.
So I mean,
is that a coincidence?
Yeah.
I do think that The Rock has kind of become the fixer with franchises, and he can sell tickets to films, and he's charismatic, and he's proven that he's actually a pretty solid actor as well. If you've seen Snitch, I mean, he's good. So I do think that this is a wasted opportunity if they don't reveal who it is. He's here anyway, so all they had to do was extend the time. And let's think about what the biggest Comic-Con reveal of was last year. It was Batman vs. Superman. Yes. So DC has some big shoes to fill from themselves, and they have to reveal it. Some other questions we've received on this. Do you think that Warner Brothers will reveal or confirm their DC cinematic universe?
Yes.
Exactly. I also feel like it's a wasted opportunity because we heard that Nikki Fink report, and everyone's like, that's interesting. It would make sense because it would show that, A, they have a plan, and B, that they're actually competing with the MCU, which is leaps and bounds over what they're doing right now. Yeah. So I do think that we will hear. Do you think so?
Well, remember when we talked about the Nikki Fink thing, and I said, I guess I felt like I was in the minority at the time, to where it was like, I believe that this is going to happen. And because just from her dropping that, the first big scoop out of the gate, you don't do that if you're trying to get your website back. So she got something leaked. And like we were just saying before, Warner Brothers or DC is going up against Marvel. It's a back and forth. It's a fight. So you want to throw out the most news as possible. Control Comic-Con, get the buzz going. Oh my God! Did you see what DC said this morning? Top that, Marvel. They have to. They start the panel out on Saturday morning, like 10 in the morning. It's going down.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do something as big as Batman versus Superman, you have to build off of it. You can't just do that. Right. So they're going to build Justice League, and they need to build all their other franchises off of that. So I think it's the perfect opportunity.
I don't know if Nikki Fink's full report is true, but I do think we'll see several of the titles from there confirmed. I don't know if the dates and all of that, because it felt pretty rushed, and that was my whole thing, is why I didn't know if that was true, because for a studio that's been pretty timid with getting this universe together, it seemed really aggressive. That's not a knock.
Yeah.
It just seems like a big 180. But maybe, you know, with Man of Steel and like maybe these titles have slowly but surely given them more confidence because people in general really liked that. Obviously, you have Dark Knight trilogy, which was incredible.
Right.
So I just feel like it was really aggressive, but that's not a bad thing
No.
if they commit to it and show us their cards.
And it's almost like a bait and switch in the fact that, we're not really working on a big universe yet. We don't know what we're doing. I think David Goyer said, there's no plans yet. And it's just, don't tell them anything yet. Yeah. And then they've been working on it. So, yeah, it's a bit aggressive if all those titles came out when they weren't supposed to come out. But if you think about it, it's no different than we were talking about on the show yesterday with Sinister Six and then Spider-Man. They have the dates that they're planning out. You know, with Spider-Man's like 2018 or whatever. So and they're planning the standalone Batman rumored to be around the same time. So it's a big slate, but they are years to come, and they have a lot of time to set this universe up, and things always change.
Yeah. And my whole thing was, as long as you have a plan and good people behind it, I have confidence. Yeah. But it's like that, so we'll see.
Well, they want to make everything, too, like get their brand up there. Because, you know, with Guardians coming out, it's tracking pretty well. The reception to it has been pretty well, and I think it's going to do pretty good at the box office.
Oh, definitely.
But remember, this is built off the Marvel brand itself. No one knows who Guardians of the Galaxy
great point.
is.
Yeah.
We did the red carpet. We were there.
Yeah.
There was all these people, all these fans for this property that generally most people didn't know a year ago.
Right. Yeah, so I haven't read any of the comics, but I'm
that's
interested.
why DC and Sony and Fox and all of them want to create that. So that then later when they come out with something maybe that's not as well known,
that it'll do well. Because his town in this business is what have you done for me lately? And Marvel has continued to do great stuff, and that's why I think no matter what problems Ant-Man has, no matter all the problems with the fallout with Edgar Wright and the scripts and this and that, when Guardians performs well, because we all know it will, Ant-Man will still do well opening weekend, no matter what happens, because what Dennis just said, the brand is trusted. The universe is trusted. So DC now has to do that. So bringing back The Rock and getting stars of that caliber, you got to build out your star power first, the same way Marvel did with Downey and Chris Evans and all those guys. Is that you build out a star team first, and then you can start throwing out the unknowns and the lesser known people. Because building the brand, getting the name out there, getting us. Right now, no one cares about the Green Lantern anymore because the last movie was such a train wreck. You get the right Green Lantern, that property is waiting to explode. It's one of my favorites, and I want to see a great addition to that. So the possibilities are endless.
And look what Marvel's doing now. I mean, we're going to go on a tangent on this topic, and it's fine. We'll take less questions. Yeah. But I mean, look what Marvel's doing now. We just brought up Guardians, which is a more obscure property. Ant-Man, same thing. I mean, on this couch, have you read either of those comics?
Ant-Man, no.
Yeah. No. And because of the trust factor and, the reliability factor, that's great. But DC, on the other hand, has these top-tier characters they haven't even touched yet. So I do think we'll see a plan. It'd be a good time because we're waiting for you. Okay, we're saying farewell to John and team. Good luck.
Again, Masters of the Web. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah.
It's going down today.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. Okay, we'll take 2 more quick ones. So Samuel Chambers writes, can you see Marvel bringing in Enchantress as the villain for Thor 3? Uh-oh.
I don't know enough about it. That's why I made that face. I don't know enough about it.
I know a little bit, but I don't think so.
No?
I mean, it's all about Loki, and they set up the whole thing at the end of Thor 2 about him taking the place of Odin. We don't know what happened to Odin, so I think that's where it's going to go.
But I mean, it could be cool to have like a sub-evil.
I think they will have a sub-character. I don't know if it'll be Enchantress, but I think that the main story will be figuring out what Loki's been up to. But you're going to have somebody else in there.
Yeah.
Like the same way they did for Thor 2.
Loki is too loved. He has become that character so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Same guy, but I like this one because it's funny. Samuel Chambers, be honest, who wins, Batman or Superman?
Yeah, it's. I think we're gonna be disappointed because even Zack Snyder really said it's not all about Batman versus Superman. That's why it's called Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Batman's going to be pissed off at Superman in the beginning. He might team up with Lex Luthor or whatnot, but by the end of it, they're going to be pals and they're going to form the Justice League.
Yeah. Batman can win if he has time and preparation and kryptonite.
But that's kind of. I feel Batman wouldn't stoop to that level.
Oh yeah,
he kryptonite.
would.
You think
yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Come on, Batman.
He'll bust out all the tricks.
Yeah.
Okay, one more because it's not pulling up. Okay, do you think we will get a trailer for the 3rd Hobbit movie at Comic-Con from James Haluk?
Yes. Yeah, we're almost there. I mean, it's not too far. I think that they're doing like a nice sign off. I was able to speak to Andy Serkis recently, and he's very excited to be. They're doing like the cast is kind of getting together. It's like the last send off together and be together. So I think that by releasing the trailer to to the fans who Comic-Con is such a special place that you really embrace the properties that you love here. You really do, and you feel the love for all these properties. To release the Hobbit trailer here would be a nice kick into releasing it into the world eventually, and it's a nice send off to Middle Earth, if you will.
Yeah, I think so. They'll probably do what they call the Comic-Con trailer, which is like not quite as polished. It's like they show a bunch of footage. Usually it runs longer than the standard 2.5 minutes, and then they'll condense that down into an actual polished trailer and release that maybe a few weeks later, 2-3 weeks later after Comic-Con.
It's interesting though, because normally, like even last year, they had and Guardians was shooting for like 10 days or something, and they released the trailer for that for people who saw the Hall H panel, and it essentially was the same exact trailer they released like 6 or 7 months later.
Really?
Which was interesting. But in the case, I normally agree with you there. That they did that with the Green Lantern when it came out years ago, and that trailer actually looked a lot better. Talk about polishing it. Anyway, but the reason why I think the Hobbit, what you see is what you will get in the world, is because it comes out so soon. Okay. In like November is when it comes out. Yeah, or just December.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna whatever we see here, I think will be released pretty soon.
Yeah, it's not that far off either, and this is kind of for our first trailer. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's on. So Carlos Diaz asked if we're still doing the meet and greet this year, and we are. To confirm, it's actually tomorrow night from 6 to 7:30 at the Omni Hotel, and we'll be there. So come have a drink with us. Come meet us. Let's see. I think we have time for one more because we're actually kind of breezing through these real quick. Okay, so they would like to know what we think will be the most talked about. Angel Rubio asked what we think will be the most talked about thing this year at Comic-Con. Probably what we already mentioned.
I think so. I mean, I think Marvel. I'll tell you what. I don't think it. We have talked about it. Yeah, I think it's going to be the Avengers 2 trailer. I think that's going to be the most talked about thing.
Do you think we're going to get a full trailer? Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What I was saying before, the Comic-Con.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the version I think we're going to see. Most people won't see the version that whoever goes to Hall H is able to see, but people will be talking about that one. This is what's going to happen. Oh, I can't believe that. And then, people want to see the Hulk. Show me some footage of the Hulk.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll get a Comic-Con edition. But think about last year, the big reveals. Batman vs. Superman wiped the floor. We found out it was Age of Ultron, and that was exciting. But when you hear about that team up, it was crazy.
Yes, that stole the headlines for a little bit. But then when Tom Hiddleston came out as Loki and talked to the crowd, that went around. That went around really took over. And I'll tell you who also was an underrated was when the X-Men panel, when the both casts came out, that people were talking about X-Men-ish.
Yeah.
But when that panel came out, and they all were on stage, and then they showed the trailer for X-Men. The buzz for that movie really started there. And that was when they said, "Oh, wait a minute," because the trailer at that time was set to the Hans Zimmer score from Inception time, and they I wish they would have released that version of it, but it doesn't matter. I think that there were a lot of there could be a scene stealer is what my point is there. Like someone else could come in and throw something down, and maybe we see Ultron himself come out.
That would be epic. Is there anything else you guys are really excited about?
Mad Max.
Yeah, I want to see some footage from that. They released a really cool poster recently, and I thought that, I'm a sucker for post-apocalyptic
Those
stories,
photos of Charlie's and Tom were outrageous. I'm on first name basis, by the way. Not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, she looked fierce and amazing. He is going to be a very strong successor to Mel Gibson, and I was like, okay, this could be okay. And my stance on remakes usually, I'm just like, unless you're gonna really blow it out of the water and make it 10 times better, don't do it. They might make this better, or at least on par.
I think so. I think there's a good possibility that they do, and it's no secret that Tom Hardy is one of my favorites out there right now.
He can do anything.
He can do anything, and so to see him do this role. He does that subtle anger thing so well, and then when it's time to explode, you're like, look out, a grenade just went off. So, this is the perfect role for him.
Anything else?
No, I mean, I'm excited to, hear more about Avengers 2, and whatever DC is going to announce, and I'm assuming it's going to be The Rock as Shazam / maybe Black Adam.
Yeah. Oh, there's one. I mean, one more thing is I was looking forward to getting this, and I got it, and that is that is a new dawn. The Star Wars stuff. They're going to do a lot more on Rebels. The more and more I was hoping we get some Episode 7 stuff. I really don't think it's going to happen here. I think they're going to save it for something else, but I think we'll get a lot of Rebel stuff. I'm actually very excited for Rebels. I can't wait for Rebels to come out. And this book, I literally have started reading it. And I want to finish it. That's the kind of geek I am. I'm seriously going, well, do we have to work? Can I finish the book?
Right. Everything we've talked about, but I'm also really excited to see if Marvel will announce maybe titles we don't know of in those release dates.
Right.
Because there's a couple ones I'm hoping could be. So yeah, I really like the ones I don't see coming. I mean, we expect The Rock to be announced. We expect a trailer. We expect the DC lineup. I mean, there are a lot of things we do expect, which is still really exciting, but it's the ones that are just like, wow, we've been saving this, that really excite me.
Do you think we'll get a Captain Marvel announcement?
I don't right now.
You don't?
I don't right now. We could, and that would be, I would be ecstatic about it, but I don't think right now we're going to. Do you?
What about Doctor Strange casting?
I do think we could get Doctor Strange
casting.
casting.
Yeah, like they're going to announce who it is and bring that person out.
I think that.
And is it Benedict?
I don't know about that. Maybe because he's here. I think that will happen, and I do think that they're going to announce Captain Marvel.
Do you?
And I think that because Kevin Feige has said he's a fan and he's hinted at it throughout, and in the same way that he's hinted at Doctor Strange before they announced Doctor Strange.
I want Black Panther.
That might happen as well.
I want Black Panther.
If all those slates come out, yeah. So there you go.
Cool, guys. Well, we're going to wrap that up for today because we have a panel to get to. But thank you so much for joining us. I would like to thank my wonderful panelists for today on our comfy couch at our condo, Mr. Dennis N. Where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero and on Instagram, dennis.tzng. And I'll be posting a bunch of Comic-Con pics throughout the week.
Mr. Christian Harloff, who actually is a panelist, so you have to get dressed, my friend.
I know, I do. Now I'm going to wear my pajama pants. At Christian Harloff on Twitter, as the same thing, Instagram, posting pictures just like Dennis, at Christian Harloff on Instagram.
And I'm Amy Rosie. You can find me at various social networks, platforms, all that goodness. And we will be posting a lot of breaking news and other fun things. Be sure to check out our meet and greet, our panel. We will make everything very accessible on our blog. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully Campio will be back with a voice, but no promises.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Like us, follow us, share us. You know the deal. See you soon.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.